time. Now the name of the man was Gideon, and it was he who was an instrument in the hands of God in delivering the people of Limhi out of bondage. I don't think he had any idea that he was an instrument in the hands of God. I think there are people who are very imperfect. We imperfect, have been instruments in the hands of God. I think of two men in my life that stand out. I was a convert to the church. I was the only member of my family to join the church at the time. And as a young boy, really, I was converted at 11 and baptized at 12 years of age, right in through there. And my parents were not interested at that time. They didn't really have an understanding. It's a complex story, but nevertheless, I went ahead. By the way, later I did baptize my mother, and my father was killed in a traffic accident, and I've done his work, so he can't escape. Living or dead, we get you. We get you one way or another. But nevertheless, at that time, there were two men that were raised up that kept me in the church. And one was my ward teaching companion. How about that for a phrase? When's the last time you heard that word? Ward teaching companion. All right? We call them home teachers today, but Leslie Gilbert was his name. He later became my bishop and later became my stake president. But Leslie Gilbert kept his eye on me, and he took me every month faithfully to do ward teaching. And he encouraged me to go to church. And another man was named Herbert Anderson. Now let me tell you why Herbert Anderson is interesting for you folks that are here tonight. Herbert Anderson is the father of Diane, the cruise lady. He became the stake president also. He managed KGY radio station in Olympia, Washington. And Herbert Anderson was a man who would come out to my house and visit me and say, "How you doing, son?" Only member of the church in the family. "How you doing, son? It's glad to see you out to church. Hope you keep coming." I would go to church because a Herbert Anderson asked me to go, and a Leslie Gilbert took me ward teaching every month until I was strong enough to stand on my own two spiritual feet. And that's how the gospel works. We're raised up to be instruments in the hands of the Lord. And you've had people, as I've been talking, that came to your mind who have been an instrument in your life. And I can tell you, if we had an open testimony meeting, and everybody that you've crossed paths with in your life, there would be those who would say, "It was my grandma that kept me active in the church. It was the love of that woman that kept me in the faith." We're a like story, something like unto that, okay? The Lord will do that. He will raise up others to do what we cannot do. Isn't that wonderful? That He can do that we have that hope in Christ. He can do that. Okay, next one, please.